Yep.
That's good to hear. Yep. So what do you got on there, Dan? Japan COVID-19. Yeah, coronavirus tracker. There we go.
Yep.
I haven't
I
paid attention in
remember
the last couple of days.
Yeah, but I
Too busy.
remember less than a week ago, it was less than 1,000,000. Already we're up to 1,044,000. I mean, so
Don't remind
yeah,
me.
yeah,
It's
you can
crazy. It's that Delta
you can
variant.
yeah, you can see, I mean, these 2 peaks here, we thought were terrible, and we're like at double, actually, more than double the peak. Now we've more than doubled the peak from the previous 2 peaks there, so
Hmm.
this is serious stuff going on.
It is. It's quite scary, isn't it? Very scary. Yeah, it's quite scary. So hopefully we'll get a handle on it. I mean, I think the more people that get vaccinated, it's gonna be the best thing.
Absolutely.
So I hope American people get vaccinated. Yeah. I mean, my friends and family want to and have mostly. How about
Mhm.
you, Dan? Your mom got
Yeah, she got
vaccinated?
vaccinated. She got the
You
Moderna
okay?
pretty
My mom
pretty
too,
pretty
Moderna, yeah.
pretty
And your
early, yeah.
relatives?
Um, yeah, my cousins that interact with my mom a lot, I know that
Hmm.
they both had corona, light
Wow.
cases of it, fortunately. And then they got the virus, or they got the vaccine also. So they got the virus and then the vaccine. So they should be
It
super
should be
protected now.
doubly efficient. Yeah, that's awesome. Super
Yeah.
protected. Hopefully, right? Hopefully they'll be super protected. Although I've been hearing too with this Delta variant that even if you're vaccinated, you can still catch it.
Yeah,
Of course,
but
the hospitalization isn't as bad.
right, and death is like, almost not happening, so
That's right.
if you if you've had both doses of the virus,
Both doses of the
and
virus.
or both doses of the vaccine, yeah, both doses of the virus, then
D- Dan, you've had both doses of the virus, I guess.
what
Woo!
virus are you talking about? Yeah. Um,
Yeah. No, yeah, both doses of the vaccination. That's great. I know you're getting one. Hey,
yep, I
Eleanor,
get
how you
my
doing?
second one tomorrow.
Is that right? Tomorrow? Okay, great. Well, you're almost there.
Almost there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
almost there. Good on you. Good on you too. How about Florida? Have you been hearing about Florida? I
I
guess
mean,
you don't really
America's up.
watch the news,
Well, I mean, a
but
little bit. I watch Democracy Now.
oh,
From on
okay, yeah,
yeah.
I know that one
Um,
on
so
Facebook.
yeah. Well, they have a website. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I
So
watched that, and they were talking about it. Over 100,000 a day now in the states, and over a quarter of those are in Florida alone. Yeah.
yeah, and apparently what is it? The governor is I mean, he's fighting against, or he won't allow a mask mandate,
Hmm.
and he won't allow
Right.
masks in schools and such.
And he's
And
gonna
he's getting sued by a few people for that, actually, right?
Yeah, but he wants to cut funding for any schools that try to implement the mandatory masks. I mean,
Yeah, I know, that's
he's,
right. And superintendents, did you hear that today? I guess school superintendents, he's going to cut their salaries if they slash their
really,
salaries if they try to, yeah, if they try to implement mask usage.
huh?
It's kind of crazy, isn't it? I mean, he's like fighting against it.
Definitely crazy.
It's a
Definitely
bit
crazy.
crazy. It's a bit dangerous. Hey, thank you, Chrissy. How you been? Yeah, it's been ages.
Yeah, it has. Oh, Eleanor's here. I missed her
Yeah, Eleanor's there
comment
too,
there.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Eleanor, Chrissy. Yeah,
Chrissy, one blessed cat.
yeah,
It is. It's a bit
um,
horrifying. Yeah, I agree.
yeah. I mean, Kyushu, we're far enough away from the big population centers that it's a little bit slower getting here. But I noticed that Kumamoto is already over 1,000 cases, so we're in
Oh,
the.
really?
Oh
Wow.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
a
Gosh.
thousand,
Okay. Now I didn't
thousand
hear
active
that one.
cases.
Wow. Oh,
Uh,
really? Thanks, Dan, for keeping me up to date.
let's see if I
I
can
should
find it
be
here.
more up on it. I haven't been paying attention. But what is it again? 1,000 plus?
Yeah,
Is it the Delta variant? Chrissy's
I
asking.
I'm
Yeah.
assuming so. Yeah. There it is. Kumamoto, 1,007.
A thousand and
83 new
seven.
cases in the
Wow.
last 24 hours. Yeah.
And doesn't say Delta variant, I guess, on that, does it?
No, they don't. In this site, they don't break it down into which variants. But I also heard that the Lambda variant has made it to Japan.
Wow. Okay. I think I
Yeah.
just heard one mention on that, and that's all. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah. 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 I don't
Yeah,
know how
they,
prevalent it is yet, but I know that through their in Japan, they are marginal on their testing. I mean,
yes, they are.
they've got they just don't test. They don't or they test, but the genomic sequencing they don't do very much.
They don't do the genomic sequencing and they test basically if you need to be tested. Yeah.
Right.
I guess if you
Um,
want, you can be tested. If you have a fever and go to the hospital, I guess they test you. Or if
mhm,
you're suspicious yourself, I guess you can get a test. But generally, you know,
yep, yep,
the testing isn't done. Yeah.
yeah. But then, even when somebody does test positive, they know that somebody has the virus. It's only rarely that they actually sequence, the virus
Yeah,
to find out which variant it is. So, we're kind of in the dark here. We don't know which variant is the predominant one here.
that's right. We don't know, right? And Eleanor asked if we think it's the spill off from the Olympics. Yeah, I'm wondering about that myself. I think probably somewhat, but it's really hard to tell, isn't it?
I mean, I don't see it being that much because most of the the Olympic Village type of thing. I mean, the people that were there for the Olympics, the
Hmm.
coaches and the staff and the athletes are all kind of in their own little area there. They weren't interacting all that much.
Right.
Um,
That's true.
you know, and there were some cases there among the people there for the Olympics, but not a lot. I mean, considering there were what tens of thousands of between the athletes and the staff and the this, that, and the other thing, there were not all that many uh
Hmm.
back people with coming down with the virus, so
Right, and they certainly weren't going out of the Olympic Village or and intermingling. Although I think one team did stay in a hotel out of the
yeah.
Olympic Village, but they
Well,
weren't
plus,
mingling with the public.
well, to me, the biggest worry would be, like the news crews, the media that are going in there, from the the Tokyo area news
Yeah,
media that's going there to cover it, and then they go back. That would be the
right.
biggest risk. But since we already have the Delta variant, we already have Corona, spiking here. I don't think it's related to the Olympics at all, and so I don't. There may be some impact, but I think it's going to be minimal.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I mean, we just they made the right call when they decided not to allow spectators, basically,
Mm, yeah,
do it all through the media.
I
That
think
was a
yeah,
good call.
I think it went off rather well. It went off, very well. Even though they didn't have spectators, it was good. I watched it. I watched a lot of them. Yeah, it was entertaining. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
let's see. Yes, people with the more rare
More
types of
rare type of.
autoimmune disorder,
Yeah.
even after the second shot, develop zero antibodies. Right?
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah. I guess that's right. Yeah. That's why she can't get the vaccine. I guess, right?
Ah.
Oh, okay. That's her, right? Yep. Yep. I see.
Hmm.
Yeah. Point taken. Wowza. Well, of course, time will tell what
Yeah.
these offshoot from the Olympics is, what the spillover is, right? Time will tell, and I don't think that is the major cause of the influx here in Japan, right?
Right.
It's been ticking up even before the Olympics a bit, and then I think it's just a coincidence that it's around the same time.
Yep.
You
I
know,
think so too. I think so
it's a
too.
coincidence, and then
Absolutely.
boom, right? Yeah, just and they like you said, they don't do much genomic sequencing. But I I have in mind that it's probably the Delta variant. Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, that seems to be the one all around. Let's see. I actually didn't see any of
Yeah.
it, but I'm absolutely. But
Pretty
I
good.
absolutely agree. It was a very smart idea to not allow spectators. I'm sure it was difficult for the athletes. I think a lot of their energy can be built up by the cheering at the fans, so I'm sure that was hard for them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, Although one thing, especially like gymnastics or some of the track and field events, they're held in a big area, and at the same time there are 4 or 5 different events going on, and so you got people are completing their routines or doing something, and the crowd reacts, like in the middle of your routine, you haven't finished yet or whatever, and then you hear the crowd react. I mean, it actually could be distracting, I would think, in some
Hmm.
circumstances.
Yeah, I think it could be. Sure, I think it could be actually. Definitely. Yeah. When you're trying to concentrate.
you know
Mm,
you know
yeah, for
but
sure. For
they're
sure.
they're probably such professionals that they can shut out the crowd noise if they want to.
Yeah, I'm sure. Some players might find it exhilarating, and it might boost them on to better performances. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see.
What do you have there, Dan? Half of U.S. cosmetics contain toxic chemicals. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Toxic chemicals. Let's see. Oops. I lost my camera.
You did.
Am I coming back? There I am.
There
I'm
you
back.
go.
Yeah.
You don't have your
Anyway, yeah.
background though. What
No,
happened to
no, I
your
lost my
funky
background.
background?
Yeah, I think that it was really putting a hit on my CPU. I felt like I was really lagging.
What computer are you using?
My MacBook Pro,
Okay,
15 inch,
okay.
2000 what? 2017.
You haven't had any problems with that with apps with your
Not
MacBook Pro?
really. No, no,
I've
not
heard people
really.
they do have problems with apps usage on MacBook Pros.
Really.
Yeah,
Burning them up.
yeah, indeed.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I noticed
Too
it
much
does
weight
get
on
pretty
it.
hot, it does get pretty
Yeah,
hot.
yeah. I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and it got kind of funky once.
Oh, Christy, thank you for the high award. Appreciate that. Yeah. Um, yeah, so
Yeah.
that's was looking at using my Mac Mini, the new M1 Mac Mini to see if that would work better. But the desk I have my MacBook Pro set up on is quite narrow, but it works perfect for my microphone and everything. It just it's nice and compact and works just right. But with my Mac Mini, I need a monitor, right? And between the
Yep.
Mac Mini and the monitor and so on, it won't fit on this table. So I went to put it on another table, but then my microphone stand wouldn't attach to the table that I had it on. It was too thick for the microphone arm to attach. So I've got to
Oh,
figure out
okay.
something else. I'm in flux. Oh, thank you, Chrissy, for the subscription. Appreciate that. Um, Anything you want to look at here? Or you want to talk about something else?
Oh, well, um,
Half of U.S. cosmetics. We talked about that. You want nowhere to run from global warming. Boy, there is a lot of talk about fires all over the world, isn't there?
yeah, let's talk about that.
All right,
That's kind of crazy,
kind of
isn't it? Yeah.
that's
I think yeah, it's a really huge problem, right? I mean, remember last year, was it Australia with
you
all
know,
those fires, and of course, California,
you know,
those crazy
this is
fires,
Greece.
right? Oh,
Sure,
wow,
Greece
really? Huh?
here. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
Greece. Grease fires are the worst.
They are. And don't try to put it out with water.
That's right. Yeah, you can't use water on a grease fire.
Although
That's right.
Greece is surrounded by water.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see. What does it say here? The United Nations called a Code Red for Humanity. A recently
Wow, okay.
released report on climate change. Code Red describes a serious emergency. I would say so. Serious.
It's a
The UN
serious
report said
emergency.
it is. U.S. report said the Earth's atmosphere is getting so hot that temperatures in 10 years will probably pass a dangerous level.
Wow.
Linda Mears is a climate scientist at the U.S. National Center for Atmospheric Research and a co-writer of the report. She said it's just guaranteed that it's going to get worse. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Wow.
Oh,
Nowhere to
I
run,
don't know if
nowhere to
it's in
hide.
this article, but that's another thing that I heard. So, what was it? Yesterday, I think, or maybe just recently, Denver, Colorado,
Yep.
the worst quality air, the worst air quality of any city in the world
Is that right?
because of all the fires going on in the west and
Mm-hmm.
the wind carrying it over.
Wind
So
carries it right over. Yeah.
yeah, so
Wow.
Denver, Colorado is the city with the worst air quality of any
Wow.
place in the world.
That's really just hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah,
My gosh,
yeah.
that's unbelievable. Wow.
I mean, it tells you how much smoke there is. If
Right.
it's gone from Washington, Oregon, California, all the way over
Over.
to
Hmm.
Colorado, and it's still so thick and so bad that it creates the worst air quality in the world. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And it is, right, from fires and not from smog or car exhaust like you'd find in Bangkok, right? Or Manila. Oh,
Hmm.
that's where Eleanor is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Colorado, right?
yeah. Oh,
Denver, huh?
are we back in the WHO? I can't.
Yeah, I think we
We,
are. Yes, we are.
I think so. Yeah,
Biden did that, I believe. Hmm.
yeah, yeah. During his first days, he tried to undo as much of Trump's changes as he could. I think. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's see. But scientists also reduced their predictions of the worst climate disasters. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a group formed by the UN, released the report which calls climate change human
Hmm.
cause. The IPCC makes more exact predictions for the next 80 years than it did the last time it released a report in 2013. The UN group predicts 5 possible situations that might take place in the future. They're based on how much carbon gas emissions are cut by nations around the world. Each one of the possible situations meets the warming levels set in the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement.
Wow. That's just very bad.
Yeah.
All
Let's
human
see.
caused. Nowhere to
Yeah,
run, nowhere to hide.
that's right.
So that's
Let's
one
see.
of the problems. And the other problem is COVID, right? It's the world these days.
Yeah. Oh, what's this? So they set the number at 1.5 degrees increase in the average temperature uh, since the average temperature levels in the 1800s before industrialization. The target was 1.5 degrees, and already we've gone up 1.1.
Wow. You're
And
kidding.
I think
Wow.
it was, yeah. Let's see. Under the possible situation report said the world will cross the 1.5 degrees Celsius mark in the 2030s. So that's, like 10 years from now.
Yeah. Wow. Hopefully your daughter and grandchildren are going to be okay, Dan. If
Yeah.
you have grandchildren eventually. I know.
Yeah.
It's quite a scary situation, isn't it? And look at the implications, the future implications. I mean, that's 10 years away, right? I mean, a lot can happen in 10 years.
Yep. Yep.
Things could
Uh,
start going downhill quite readily, quite rapidly. Yeah. Capitalism is going to do great when there's no oxygen for any of us to breathe. Yeah, that's true, right? Wow. Wow.
yeah.
Gosh almighty.
In
Yeah.
3 of 5 possible situations, worldwide average temperatures will warm by more than 2 degrees Celsius over pre-industrial times. That
Wow.
is the higher temperature limit under the Paris Climate Agreement. The scientists predict reaching this level will cause severe heat waves, droughts,
Hmm.
and flooding rainstorms.
Geesh. Okay. Look what we have to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we can change it. Do you think we can change it, Dan?
No. No, I don't. I really don't. Because I mean, all the things that I mean, we talked about this a little bit before, but the green, the renewable resources that people are promoting, things like wind power and solar power and so on. Uh,
It's just not enough, right?
well, not enough, but beyond that, I thought we talked about this. So, for example, those huge wind turbines, those are huge metal and fiberglass structures that take a lot of energy in order to produce the parts and then to assemble them and so on. To take the parts from the factories to the locations and so on, and that is all basically using fossil fuels to get that, the trucks or whatever, because we're
Yeah.
not using we're not using electric trucks to haul that stuff around, so the carbon footprint in order to put one of those giant wind
Yeah.
turbines in place and get it
Hmm.
going is huge. And then
Hmm.
I mean, once it's running, then the carbon footprint is nearly zero, but it's getting it there. And then
Hmm.
the maintenance is also expensive and time consuming and so on. And I think the expected life of those is only like 20 or 30 years.
Yeah. It's true.
So I don't see the wind turbines as being a really great. I mean, like I said, it's it, maybe over the long run it's lowering the carbon footprint a little bit, but what you're doing is you're getting this big boost of carbon produced at the beginning in order to get that thing put in place, and
Mm.
that is definitely
Yeah.
not what
Yeah.
we need right now.
Yeah, there have been some wind turbines that have been disassembled for that reason. There's just not enough wind, right? And it's just
Uh,
too, too costly and
now,
to install them. Yeah.
to me, I mean, and yeah, there are places that are doing it, but to me, one of the most um, interesting, the most promising ways of producing electricity renew on a renewable basis is the waves, the ocean. The tidal using the ocean motion, the ocean motion in order to produce electricity.
Could do. There are people doing that, right? There are companies who are doing that.
I mean, another thing with the wind turbines and so on. I mean, uh, the places where you put them are not easily accessible. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of costs involved there. I mean, if it is accessible land, well, then it's taking up valuable land and so on. So if you put it in the ocean, I mean, yeah, I don't see a lot of problems with that.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's a good way to do it.
Wow, rainy days.
Yeah, look at that.
Xinjiang, China. Okay.
Yeah.
So the UN says 721 experts took part in the report, which is nearly 4,000 pages long. Well, you got a weekend read for you there, Jeff.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
It said the warming atmosphere is already causing many unusual and harmful weather events. All these events will get worse, the report said. In some places, warming is causing more than one problem at a time. Examples of places with such dangerous weather are the western U.S., where heat waves, drought, and wildfires increase the damage. Yep. Extreme heat is also causing fires in Turkey, Greece, and Turkey. Yep.
Yeah.
Cutting methane is one way to reduce warming. Okay, so you got to cut down on your bean intake there, Jeff.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more beef and bean
That's
burritos
right.
for you.
I think that's the impetus of Cowspiracy, all right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Can you think? I mean, yeah. The beef and bean burrito has to be absolutely the worst for the environment there is. I mean,
Right. Yeah, totally.
cows are making the methane, and the humans are making the
Humans are
methane. I mean,
eating methane more,
yep.
doubling it, right?
Oh shoot. Let's see. So one bright spot here. Let's see. Zeke Hausfather is a co-writer of the report and a climate scientist with the Breakthrough Institute Environmental Group in California. He said the chances of ending up in a much worse place than we expected if we do reduce our emissions are notably lower. So maybe, so that's what they're saying. The worst case scenarios might not be as bad as we thought that they
That,
were.
that's true, too, right? Maybe not.
And methane is a
Time
biological
will
carbon
tell.
gas. Yeah. Farm animals produce large amounts of gas. Leaks of natural gas pipelines are also considered a problem. Yeah.
That's
Net
right.
zero by 2050. Wow. Net zero by 2050. I'll only be 90 years old then. So, yeah, they better get things going.
I'll be right behind you.
Everyone's just going to have to start holding in their parts.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely. Got to do something. All right. Well, what else we got going on here? Taliban. I don't want to talk about the Taliban.
No. Any other good
Worries
news?
grow. worries grow as Brazil's forest fire season starts. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, forest fires everywhere. We talked about
Mm,
Europe, Turkey and Greece, talked about America, all over the West Coast, and so on. Brazil's forest fires. Of course, the worst part about Brazil's forest fires is so many of them are started intentionally by people that want to clear the land for use, for grazing animals and raising crops and so on, cutting out the earth's
it's
lungs in order to turn a profit in the short term.
yeah, it's terrible, right? Crazy.
Mm. Well, here you
Yeah.
go. We just have to move to the moon here. Rough areas on
Okay.
moon may permit water ice to widely form. So there you go.
There we go.
Okay. You can go up there and you
That's
can have your
that's
whiskey on the rocks, on the moon there, because they'll
I'll
have ice
take it.
for you.
Sure. I'll definitely take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, any speaking of whiskey on the rocks, any food news, beverage news,
Food news, beverage news.
something positive, more positive on the
More
positive
positive.
aspect?
Good news. Nobody listens to the good news, right? Let's
That's
see.
why
What do
it's
we got here?
CNN, continually negative news.
Yeah, that's right. I don't find anything here. Good
Yeah.
news. We search for good news. What does it find for us? Half of U.S. cosmetics contain toxic chemicals. Oh, well, the good news is half don't, right?
Yeah. There you go.
uh, yes, yeah, you search for good news and nothing comes up. There's no good news. There's absolutely.
How about how about strange news? Dan, don't you have any strange news for us?
Oh, this one. Are robotic police dogs useful tools or threatening machines? That reminds me of Black Mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
That was I think maybe my favorite Mirror episode was the one with the robot sentry dog.
Okay.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I saw the beginning of that one. I believe
Oh,
didn't watch the
well.
whole thing through, but
Oh
yeah.
my god. Oh my god. That
It's a good one.
is, like I said, I think I loved Black Mirror and I think maybe that was my favorite. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay,
Um
I'll have to check that out again.
it's it's great. It's really great.
Oh
I
cool.
loved it.
Cool, cool.
Let's see. Competitors show kindness at unusual Olympics. Here you go.
There we go. Good.
Had to go back a week, but we found some positive news here.
That's pretty positive, yeah. Uh,
As the world watched the Tokyo Olympics, we saw a surfer helping to translate for the surfer who had just won, high jumping friends agreeing to share a gold medal, and two runners falling then helping each other to the finish line. Huh. I missed all those.
I didn't see that one either. They didn't really
Uh,
broadcast that one, I don't believe.
uh, in an
Hmm.
unusual Olympic Games where competitors spoke openly of their mental health, acts of kindness are everywhere. Yeah, mental health. I mean, yeah, athletes. I think it's about time. I mean, yeah, I always thought that. So much pressure on these athletes in the Olympics and so on. I mean, I think as much or maybe even more because it's not just your team or how much you're going to get in your paycheck because if you're a professional athlete, you're probably going to get, some kind of a paycheck anyway. Even if your team doesn't win the championship or whatever, you're going to get paid a salary. But these Olympic, they've got like their whole country are rooting for them, and got the eyes of their nation on them. That's a lot of
Seriously, a
pressure.
lot of pressure. Totally. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been seeing it, kind of come to the forefront this year with Simone Biles. Did you see that?
No.
The gymnast who pulled out of the Olympics, actually,
Oh
because I
yeah.
think she had bipolar, was it, or something, and she was on some medication that was illegal in Japan, and couldn't get it here, so she quit. She pulled out.
I thought she came back.
No,
I
no,
thought
she stopped the Olympics. Yeah, she
she
stopped.
she pulled out, but I thought she came back at the end for something. I
No,
thought she came,
no.
yeah.
Yeah,
Good news doesn't bring ratings. That should tell society something. Yeah. That was
it's
disgusting the way
true.
that they judged her. Yes, it was. Yeah. But I mean, there's so much to that. I mean, I think it's terrible the way, the athletes are put under such scrutiny. They're expected. I mean, yeah, your forte is, doing, some physical activity, and you're like at the peak of your game. Well, that doesn't mean that, you're that gregarious, that you're that comfortable, being interviewed and talking to people. And I think I don't think it's right to expect that of all these athletes. I mean, and plus, maybe it's just because I'm old, but I mean, the interviews are always the same thing. Well, how did you feel when you crossed the line?
You're
And
not
how,
that old.
of course they're happy. I mean, what kind
Mm.
of idiotic questions are those? I mean,
Well, it gets me. I don't, when Japanese athletes are questioned, especially women, mostly women, they always cry. Yeah,
yeah,
they cry. It's the
yeah,
first thing they do, is like they have to cry.
yeah, 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 yeah.
No, you're right. There's an
Um,
extraordinary amount of pressure, and that has to get to you.
yeah. Uh, I mean, I'm kind of anti organized sports. I mean, or at least high, the professional Olympic level sports. I think that people should spend that time and energy supporting their local little league or the high school, or root for the kids, the root for your neighbor's kids, root for whatever. I mean, um, I grew up and I was a big baseball fan. I had my favorite team and so on. I would root for them and so on. I'd get excited. But it's like, whether they won or lost, it really didn't make it didn't add or detract from my life at all, really. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
um,
Oh,
it's
yeah, yeah.
entertainment, but
It is. It's entertainment. I think that's how you have to look at it. It's just entertainment, basically, right?
you know, but even
So
entertainers,
some people say, some psychologists say it's good for kids to have that experience. It kind of teaches you how to manage things, manage your time, and to be right, to express yourself well.
right, but that's what I mean. The kids should do it, and the
Hmm.
parents and the community should support the kids sports,
Yeah.
and we should just eliminate professional sports. I mean, what's the purpose of that? It's entertainment. Well, yeah, hey, isn't it more entertaining to watch your neighborhood kid, play baseball than it is to watch, some millionaire, you know, play baseball, some millionaire that you don't know, that you have no direct interaction with at all, and never will have, and watch them play. I mean, I just
Hmm.
don't get it anymore. Yeah, they're better. Yeah, they're better. But so what? I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't. I just don't get it. I've really, really, turned 180 degrees on my thoughts about professional sports. I just don't have the stomach for them anymore. And I feel the same way about entertainment, about actors and so on. I think that people should support their community theaters. Their the local things, the local local talent and so on, the local orchestras or ballet troops or whatever your community has, and go and watch them rather than some millionaires that are cranking out movies or doing concerts, $1 million a pop or whatever. And no, I just don't see it at all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I found when I came to Japan that not being able to watch sports all the time, I didn't miss it.
No, I didn't either. Not at all. Not at all. um and I watched some Japanese baseball, but it wasn't the same. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, this morning on TV, my wife was watching the news, and then it switched to Koshien, which I'm sorry, I just don't have any interest in at all, really. Yeah, nor do I have interest in Japanese baseball, really.
Now, see, for me, Koshien is at least. I mean, again, there's too much pressure on kids, but at
Yeah.
least the people out there, they're cheering for their local school or the school that is most local to them, right? So if if your high school loses, then you root for the team that they lost to, because they're still in the same district that you are. And if they go on, so you root for the Kumamoto team, or you root for the Kyushu team, right? Or whatever, you just, whatever team is the closest to where you are. That makes sense.
Yeah, I
That
guess
makes
people
sense.
have been doing that for years. Yeah.
I mean, to me, it makes a lot more sense than somebody living in Kumamoto to be a Yomiuri Giants fan. I mean,
hmm
what the hell? A bunch of Yomiuri Giants got, I mean, what are they? What are they to you? I mean, I don't, I just don't get it.
hmm
Just don't get it. Oh, this is interesting. Igarashi, surfer, right? Igarashi lost the fight for a gold medal on the beach he grew up surfing. The Japanese American surfer could have suffered in silence, but he instead used his knowledge of Portuguese. He helped to translate a press conference question for Ferreria.
Well, there you go. That's good of them. Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. Great.
Yeah, he lost to the guy, but the guy was having trouble with the question, and so the guy, so this Japanese guy, Japanese American, knows Portuguese. That's pretty impressive.
That is. That's very impressive. Yeah. For sure.
Hmm.
It's pretty good. What else you got there?
Let's see. Days later at the Olympic Stadium, Gianmarco Tambiri of Italy and Mutaz Bashim of Qatar got into a situation they had talked about but never experienced. They had the same number of points. Both high jumpers were perfect until the bar was set to the Olympic record height of 2.39 meters. Each missed 3 times. They could have continued to another jump and instead decided to share the gold. I know for a fact that for the performance I did, I deserve that gold. He did the same thing, so I know he deserves that gold, Barshim said. This is beyond sport.
There you go.
This is the
That's
message
some
we
good
deliver to the
news.
young generation. Yeah.
That's some good news for a change. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Sharing with a friend is even more beautiful. Earlier in the same path, runners Isaiah Jewett of the U.S. and Nigel Amos of Botswana fell together during the 800 meter semifinals. Rather than get angry, they helped each other. They helped each other to their feet, put their arms around each other, and finished together.
There you go. Excellent.
Well, let's see. For
There
American
you
Khadija
go.
Moore, the pandemic and its restrictions brought her closer with the other surfers. The current world champion said she usually travels to surfing competitions with her husband and father, but all guests were banned from the Olympics this year. Moore said she struggled being at the games without her family. Moore lived in a home with the other surfers, including teammate Carolyn Marks, Moore's strongest rival. Moore said she didn't know Marks well before the Tokyo Games, but on the night Moore became the winner and Marks came in fourth, her rival was the first to greet her. Having the USA surf team with me, it's been such a beautiful experience, Moore said.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean,
Yep.
you can see it in some events, the camaraderie of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't watch the Olympics at all, Dan?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not,
You can see that from time to time.
I caught a couple of scores, but I can say that I didn't watch any of the Olympics. No.
Yeah, the climbing events were like that. They all kind of greeted each other and were hanging out together, which was nice. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to get going here in a couple minutes, Dan. I've got to start some grading. And how about you? You've done your grading, I guess.
I've done one school. I still got to do your school. When are your
Yeah.
grades due?
Fourth year students are coming up here like next year, and graduate students. So I've got to get those in. And I think undergrad is the end of August.
The end of August. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, I got to get my other uni, my adjunct university's grades done.
Well, you know,
KGU.
just take all the papers to the top of the stairwell, and those that make it the farthest get the best grades, right?
No. The ones that land at the top of the stairs get the A.
Oh, the ones that land at the top.
Isn't that how you do it?
Well, it depends. Yeah, I guess so. All right.
Maybe the farthest is best. Yeah.
No. All righty then. I guess that's about enough of us blathering on here. So it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah,
everybody.
Thank you, Daniel. Good one. Good one. Yeah, pretty good stories there. Excellent. Nice coronavirus info.
Yeah. Nice. Well, that isn't exactly the
well, yeah.
I would
sorry.
have chosen for that. But...
informative.
Okay,
By
all
nice,
right,
I mean informative.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty then. Take care, everyone. Thanks for the subscription. Thanks for the comments. Appreciate it. And we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Dan.